We delve into the dark corners of human entertainment, shining a light on the egregious ways in which animals are subjected to unnecessary torture, not for survival, but for leisure. It's easy to point fingers at bullfighting as a cruel sport, yet what we are about to uncover goes beyond the bull ring, into practices so barbaric, they beg the question of humanity's capacity for cruelty. Gander pulling. It is a cruel and now largely outlawed tradition, traces its roots back to the 17th century in Europe, gaining particular prominence in the Netherlands and Belgium. This barbaric game involved a live goose being hung by its legs from a rope or a strong branch. Participants, usually on horseback, would then charge at full speed, attempting to rip the bird's head from its body. The grotesque spectacle was considered a test of strength and horsemanship, with the victor awarded the carcass of the goose as a trophy. The inherent cruelty of gander pulling, with the bird subjected to extreme stress, pain, and ultimately a violent death, has led to widespread condemnation. Efforts to raise awareness about the brutality of this practice have resulted in its ban in numerous countries. Despite these bans, gander pulling has been known to occur in some rural communities, often under the guise of tradition and cultural heritage. Octopus wrestling. It's a sport that might sound like a myth to the modern ear, was once a popular and highly anticipated event, particularly in parts of the United States during the 1960s. This peculiar contest involved divers plunging into the chilly waters of the Pacific Northwest to grapple with giant Pacific octopuses, creatures known for their intelligence, strength, and ability to camouflage. The objective was straightforward, yet daunting: to locate, fight, capture, and surface with an octopus, which often weighed several times that of the human challenger. The divers, usually equipped with nothing but their bare hands and perhaps a sense of bravado, would seek out these cephalopods in their natural habitats, under rocks or within crevices, where the octopuses would typically be minding their own business, camouflaged against predators. Upon finding an octopus, the wrestler would attempt to pry the animal from its hold, a task made incredibly difficult by the octopus's powerful suction cups, which could firmly attach to rocks or the diver's body with surprising force. The battle was not only a test of strength but of endurance, as these encounters could last anywhere from a few minutes to over an hour, depending on the size and tenacity of the octopus. Spectators often watched from boats or the shoreline, cheering on the participants. Rules for octopus wrestling varied by event, but generally, the winner was determined by the size and weight of the octopus brought to the surface. Some competitions even held weigh-ins, much like fishing tournaments, where prizes were awarded for the largest catch. Today, octopus wrestling is a relic of the past, remembered more for its absurdity and the era's lack of awareness regarding animal intelligence and ecological balance. Fuagra Production. It is a process marked by controversy and ethical concerns, centered around the force-feeding of ducks and geese to enlarge their livers up to 10 times the normal size. This practice, known as gavage, involves inserting a tube down the birds' throats to pump in large amounts of corn mash. The result is a fatty liver, prized for its rich, buttery flavor. However, the conditions under which these birds are raised are equally distressing. They are often confined to cramped cages that severely limit their movement, preventing them from engaging in natural behaviors. This confinement, coupled with the effects of force feeding, leads to significant health issues, including impaired breathing and mobility problems, as the birds' bodies struggle to support their unnaturally large livers. Despite bans in several countries and growing public awareness of the cruelty involved, foie gras continues to be celebrated in luxury dining circles. This dichotomy highlights ongoing ethical debates surrounding gourmet indulgences and animal welfare, prompting a reevaluation of culinary practices that cause unnecessary suffering. Bear baiting. It is a cruel spectacle with roots in the Middle Ages, remains a grim reality in certain regions today. This barbaric practice involves captive bears, frequently captured as cubs, who are subjected to a lifetime of suffering. These bears are tied to a stake and forced to endure attacks from dogs as a form of entertainment for onlookers. The severity of this practice is compounded by the fact that the bears are often mutilated to ensure they pose less of a threat to the dogs. Their teeth and claws are removed, leaving them defenseless and unable to escape the torment or fend for themselves in any meaningful way. The physical injuries sustained by these bears during baiting events are both severe and numerous, leading to a life filled with pain and suffering. Beyond the immediate physical harm, the psychological trauma experienced by these animals is profound, as they live in constant fear and stress from repeated attacks. Despite the clear cruelty involved, bear baiting has been difficult to eradicate. It is often protected under the guise of tradition, and enforcement of animal welfare laws in regions where bear baiting occurs can be lax, allowing the practice to continue with little intervention. Live animal keychains. It is a troubling trend where small live animals such as fish, turtles, and amphibians are sealed inside clear plastic bags or containers with water and brightly colored liquids have sparked widespread ethical concerns. These containers are designed to provide just enough oxygen for the animals to survive for a short while, often sold as novelty items in various parts of Asia. The animals inside suffer due to a lack of food, inadequate oxygen levels, and the inability to move, leading to a slow and distressing death. This practice not only causes significant suffering to the animals involved, but also raises questions about the human perception of animals as mere commodities. The keychains are often marketed to consumers who are drawn to the novelty without fully understanding the implications of their purchase. The vibrant colors and the novelty of carrying a live accessory appeal to many, overshadowing the grim reality of the animal's plight. Moreover, the trade in live animal keychains highlights issues with animal welfare regulations in certain regions, where lack of stringent laws or enforcement allows such practices to flourish. Fox tossing. It was a popular pastime among the European aristocracy during the 17th and 18th centuries, serving as a grim testament to the era's disregard for animal life. The game involved pairs of participants using slings made from canvas or other materials to catapult live animals, primarily foxes, as well as hares, badgers, and cats, into the air. The objective was to see who could toss the animal the highest or the farthest, with the unfortunate creatures often suffering severe injuries or death upon landing. This barbaric entertainment was part of larger festivities and gatherings, highlighting not only the cruelty inflicted upon the animals, but also the social acceptance of such practices among the elite. Fox tossing reflects the broader historical context in which animals were viewed as expendable commodities for human amusement, without consideration for their suffering or welfare. As societal attitudes towards animal welfare began to evolve, practices like fox tossing gradually diminished and were eventually condemned. Pato. It was designated as Argentina's national sport, has undergone a significant transformation from its violent origins to a more humane and regulated competitive activity. Historically, Pato's earliest versions were played using a live duck encased in a basket, with players on horseback attempting to seize control of the animal and carry it to a predetermined location, often resulting in injury or death for the duck. This practice was not only perilous for the animals involved, but also for the participants, as it frequently led to violent confrontations among players. The term pato itself translates to duck in Spanish, directly referencing the game's original form. The sport's evolution into its modern incarnation began in the 1930s when efforts were made to standardize rules and eliminate the use of live animals, reflecting growing concerns over animal welfare and the safety of the players. This shift saw the replacement of the live duck with a ball equipped with handles, significantly altering the nature of the game. Today's Pato combines elements from polo and basketball, where two teams of 4 riders each compete to throw a leather ball through a vertical ring. The modern sport emphasizes skill, teamwork, and horsemanship, with strict regulations in place to ensure the safety of both the players and the horses. The transformation of Pato, from a brutal and unregulated contest into a nationally recognized sport, serves as a testament to the potential for cultural practices to evolve in response to changing societal values regarding animal welfare and sportsmanship. These instances of animal torture for fun or leisure highlight the need for continued vigilance and advocacy for animal rights. While some practices have been banned or have evolved into less cruel forms, others persist under the guise of tradition or novelty.